the couches with my shoe up. And we was getting that record label money before they knew us. And we were blowing your budget in the club to the booth up. If your dog fall in your ball hog and get your whole crew up. Ooh, with right now, I got you. Right now, nothing. Need a Uber right now.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Tonight, we start Week 11 of the NFL season with a good one here between the Green Bay Packers and the Seattle Seahawks. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A first carry here for Ty Montgomery. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. The tackle made by K.J. Wright. These two teams met in Week 1 a year ago, and that went to the Packers in a slugfest 17-9. Now, remember, they also met in the NFC title game of the 2014 season. It was the Seahawks who prevailed there 28-22 on a Jermaine Kearse touchdown catch in overtime. Caught on the right side by Adams. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up fourth.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 24. Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. And his first carry, he loses the football.
Wow, that ball was not free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On first down, Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards there on the catch and run. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now Wilson on first down. Over the middle, and it's caught. Brandon Marshall. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays. Back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. The 6-time Pro Bowler, Clay Matthews. And it'll be a 2nd and long.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Now Wilson. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Thomas, the intended target. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions and not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation because a lot of fans, the first thing is, oh, well, we need to change quarterbacks. This is your guy. This is your elite player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say, you know some big guy, we're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And left side here, it's Graham. And he'll get nothing out of that one. No gain there on the completion. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They go play action for Montgomery, and now Rodgers. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a 1st down.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. Now we're going to get a halt in the action because Ty Montgomery is shaken up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
On 2nd down, here's Rodgers. And that'll be incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
We talk all the time about playmakers on offense, but let's face it, there are plenty of playmakers on defense, too. I think we just saw an example of one, didn't we? Not force that incompletion.
Yeah, he's a great corner. They got a couple of them on that side of the football. To throw, it's Rodgers. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. A good pick up there, 26 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the 1st quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's got it. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. First time that they called his number tonight, and it gets him a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Got a man open, it's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route. Ordinarily, it's probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals. Right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt.
I wouldn't be shocked at all right now if there's a look of surprise on the big fella's face because he had the route that he wanted, running the corner. And usually he's able to use his body and catch the football, but a really nice play by the defenders, able to knock it away.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. It is complete to Lockett. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
Let's go get it right here. Come on. Tempo.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Looking for Marshall, but it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. On the crossing route, complete. That's Cobb. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
First down and 1 again. Here's Montgomery. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 2nd down, Montgomery. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
Rodgers on 3rd down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Cobb. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And Crosby puts it through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. Front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
2nd and 10 now. Wilson. And this is incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. On 3rd down, Wilson. And he comes back with one complete. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football.
Without a doubt, because
and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Clay Matthews in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Tempo, baby, let's go.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. And it's hauled in by Ed Dixon. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now Wilson eluding the pressure right. And his throw here's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th.
Got 3 down. All right, Mike, 90. 47, Mike. 47, Mike. 47.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The great veteran Clay Matthews able to knock that one away in coverage. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
Rodgers now to throw. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. Rodgers now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. He's going to float this one deep right, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Shaquille Griffin with a pick, and his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Muhammad Wilkerson. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Play action. It's Wilson rolling to his right and escapes the sack. And he's going to go down again. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Now they'll run it again with Penny. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And he hits on the slant route to Marshall. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. Here's Wilson. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. To throw is Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. Now Wilson. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Kenny Clark. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
And he's got Lockett. And he coughed it up. And the Packers pick it up. And they're going to come up empty here on 4th down. And hindsight 2020, I think they probably should have gone for the field goal, right?
The 3 points would look really good right now, but I think what we just saw there, analytics really starting to creep into the game, because more and more teams are saying the more you go for it, the better your odds of getting it, the better your odds of scoring 6 points instead of 3. They took a chance there. It just didn't pay off.
Yeah, right here, the anti-analytics guys go thumbs up. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Okay, every now and then, my defensive bias will leak out here. Abysmal play for them. You've got them backed up, and you let them out.
Couldn't take advantage. And you know who's happy? The punter. Because if he was needed, they gave him a lot of space to work with now.
Yeah, because he would have had a lot to think about, right? Don't stay over the back line and give him a safety. Now he's got room if he needed it.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Rodgers handing to Montgomery. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Now Rodgers. And able to find Graham, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 2 former All-Pros connecting. Rodgers fighting his tight end Graham. Packer 1st down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open. He finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Wiggles free. And that is incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
On now is Mason Crosby, who's hit from as far as 58 in his career. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it now because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I looked down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Again, Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Intentional grounding, offense.
Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. 3rd and long, it's Wilson. Rifling one complete into the hands of Marshall. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. It's complete to Jerron Brown. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Earl Thomas in on the stop.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense. And this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Yeah, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Rodgers now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And this is the 10th carry for Ty Montgomery. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
319! 319!
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's got Adams on the hookup. There he goes, left side. And at the end of it, he's stripped. Ball comes loose. And all the way in, touchdown, Seattle. So hold the phone here, Charles. I'd kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved.
Now Crosby for the point after. Crosby with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 27.
Come on, tempo.
Now Wilson on 1st down. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Kill.
2nd and 10 now. Wilson buying time to his left. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
380!
On 3rd down, Wilson. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight, He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it is incomplete. Pete Carroll rolled the dice, but it didn't work out. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter? It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On the carry, it's Montgomery. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And Crosby puts it through, and the lead now increases to 20-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This will be taken short. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know, are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room and get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes, Coach, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
Pride on the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit. No matter what the battle is, we're going to finish this thing out.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. One last shot for Wilson. And that will be incomplete, as time has run out on this football game. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to lead.
Money back. Money back. Money back. Make it like a money back. Money back. God, I do the Maybach, come on, let's go.